This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. Happy New Year. I hope your New Year is going better than mine. Anyway, my wife's in the hospital right now, so I'm just going to do just a very quick video. Last night I did a New Year's Eve gig, and it kind of reminded me of a thing which I think it took me too long to kind of realise. And I think it is that if you're not enjoying what you're playing, no one else is going to. And I think the point was to kind of, when I was younger, I thought the point of music was more to kind of play things correctly and right, and being kind of, I wouldn't say perfectionist, because I think that's the thing that people say a lot. I've never thought I was necessarily perfect, but I was trying to be right more often than not with things that I would play. And as I've got older and started to realize more and more that people, you know, if you're playing in a band with people and you're enjoying yourself and they're enjoying your playing as well, you have a way better time than if you're kind of head down, like thinking, I played that wrong and stuff. And so I think I started gigging in about 2015, and prior to that I didn't do too much kind of paid work. But first of all, I was quite nervous, and I think that's a natural thing. So if you're new to a thing, nerves are to be expected, right? And you'd expect to kind of have nerves. And so I think one of the ways that I learned to deal with that is through preparation. And obviously if you practice things quite well and quite carefully, then you're no longer necessarily going to be as nervous, because you think, well, hopefully I'll be able to execute more often than not. So that's one of the reasons that we spend time practicing stuff. But the other kind of thing is that over time, nerves become a thing that you become aware of, and they're kind of normal, and you just kind of think, well, yeah. And over time, for me personally, those nerves, you know, in kind of function gigs or pub gigs, that sort of thing, I no longer really have them unless I'm doing a solo gig, which is new to me. And again, I can understand that feeling because it's a new thing and I've not done much of it. So there's sort of question marks in my head about whether that would always work. So it makes sense that I'd be nervous about solo gigs. And again, this was a feeling that would come up when it was my turn to play a guitar solo or something. I'd be thinking, don't mess up, don't mess up. I don't want to, you know, embarrass myself or whatever. These days, it's not really that like that anymore. I just want to have a bit of fun, maybe make someone else in the band laugh, or, you know, maybe hopefully they might enjoy something that I played or something like that. But it's no longer the case that I'm thinking, right, don't mess up. And I think that's a thing that probably, if you're anything like me, you probably carried with you for quite a while. And certainly, again, one of the big things that's helped is kind of doing this every day and consistently improvising, to the point where I've kind of got this idea that most times I could probably improvise something that sounds like me, at least. It may not be the best thing in the world, but it's probably okay enough for me, and it's a fair reflection of what I can actually do most of the time. But that's kind of just the principle. And the other thing I kind of thought was, we probably need to practice enjoying what we're playing. And this is one of the things that I think some people miss when people talk about practicing. And when people talk about practice, and that practice has to be like this thing where you're practicing things you're not good at, or these sorts of things, I think we also need to practice enjoying what we're playing as well, and practice enjoying the guitar, because that's what leads you to play more guitar. And it's a bit of a weird thing to say, but instead of, and I've been this myself, having periods of time where you play for sort of 10-15 minutes trying to improvise over a thing or practice the thing, and you're constantly kind of thinking, oh, that was crap or whatever, or that didn't land or whatever. I think we also need to balance that with practice, where we consistently go, okay, I enjoyed that, or that I liked the sound of that. Do you know what I mean? Like trying to also practice having that mindset where you're actually conveying some enjoyment, even if it's just in your bedroom, like I do most of the time. Practicing actually enjoying the guitar, rather than this idea that you always have to be getting something completely right and hypercritical of your mistakes or things going wrong. I don't know if that's going to help you. I don't know, just a thought that I had. It is New Year's Day. I don't know what's going to happen to the upload schedule at the moment, but hopefully you'll be here to watch some of these videos occasionally. I hope you enjoy watching some of this stuff, and some of it hopefully is useful in some way. I hope you have a decent new year, and I'm going to put this backing track here so that you can play along with it and hopefully get some enjoyment out of it, and maybe just focus on, you know, a few minutes a day just trying to really enjoy playing the guitar and not necessarily have a goal in mind. I think it's fine to just want to play guitar sometimes. It doesn't always have to be that you're reaching for this ongoing goal. I think actually if you play consistently, and if you do something consistently, you just get better at it anyway. I think it's a bit of a myth that you completely stagnate. I think if you're doing something really consistently because you enjoy it, necessarily you probably will improve at it over time. Your competency will improve. That's what I found with these, creating these videos. Sometimes they're in focus these days. Do you know what I mean? You do something enough, you get slightly better at it sometimes. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Happy New Year. Get better soon, Lenny.